Emily Screger. And I'm Chloe Henry. And we chose to do our presentation on how corruption impacts Nigeria and their society. Fraud, embezzlement, bribery, extortion, and influence pleading are all examples of what corruption means in Nigeria. Nigeria is now the highest populated country in Africa, with a booming economy. They are also the most corrupt. Negative effects across all sectors of Nigerian society are clearly evident, and they stem from the highest levels of leadership, influencing every system beneath. Nigeria has been enchained in poor, corrupt political leadership because Nigerian family leadership and individual Nigerian citizens are mostly dishonest, thieving, unreliable, selfish, visionless, incompetent, and corrupt. Greed has heavily impacted their society and governmental system, which enables dishonest leaders and governmental graft throughout the country. For example, political leaders have rigged elections, therefore denied any winners from weaker political parties, thereby creating more of a dictatorship than a democracy. Though last year, President Muhammadu Buhari was elected by Nigerians who have had enough. Since then, anti-fraud agencies have arrested senior politicians, sidekicks accused of embezzlement, and new corruption bills have been put before Parliament. During local surveys conducted by the U4 Anti-Corruption Agency, evidence showed that Nigerians had varying views on corruption depending on the motivation. For example, reasons such as poverty and unemployment are more relatable to the general public compared to motivations such as greed. However, it is still the general consensus that corruption leads to the overall degradation of their society, and they plead for action against it. The national economy is extremely affected by corrupt companies that steal money and resources. Motivations include poverty, greed, poor youth empowerment, and unemployment. This often pushes civilians into corruption, which only further promotes the poverty cycle and unemployment rates. The World Bank described corruption as a negative impact on economic performance, employment opportunities, access to public health care, and poverty reduction.
With 173.6 million people spread across 350,000 square miles, like Nigeria, oh my gosh, one second. Nigeria may have a booming economy. However, it has one of the highest poverty rates. Poverty has increased 61% in recent years, and now some of 70% of Nigerians are living on less than $1.25 a day. The main cause for this is the mass unemployment that is consuming Nigeria. 10.6 million Nigerians are unemployed. The justification for this is corruption.
As the graph shows, statistics show that 10.6 million people suffer from unemployment, which is 13.3%. It is not a good unemployment rate, although it is slightly higher than the 19% unemployment rate they saw in 2009. While the amount of people in poverty in 2014 is drastic, which ended up at about 50 million people, approximately 52% of the people of the whole country. Unemployment is directly tied to poverty in Nigeria. The entire Nigerian economy relies on oil, so the recent decline in oil prices has greatly impacted the economy. There is also evidence of corruption in the form of fraudulent deals and stolen money. There are thousands of oil barrels sold on the black market each year, as well as violent attacks by rogue militants, which add danger and corruption to the entire industry.
Corruption in the police forces are fueling abuses against ordinary and innocent citizens. The head of police forces are not able to pay their workers, and so police officers have turned to other means of obtaining money. Police forces have been demanding bribes and committing physical abuses against taxi drivers, market traders, and other shopkeepers as means of extorting money. Those who fail to pay are usually physically harmed, sexually assaulted, and even shot.
The healthcare sector is seriously affected by exploitation and corruption. With a population hovering over 170 million in Nigeria alone, the World Health Organization estimates that there are 500,000 deaths from malaria throughout Africa. The leading cause of death in this country are often curable in more developed countries. Despite this, only 5% of governmental funds are spent on healthcare. 1 in 5 Nigerian children are dying before their 5th birthday, and more than 1 million children are killed each year by preventable diseases. Due to the staggering statistics, the healthcare system is ranked 197th out of 200 by the World Health Organization.
Nigeria's education system is in shambles. According to the organization Unite for the Children, UNICEF, quote, 40% of children ages 6 through 11 are not attending school, recording the lowest attendance rate in this country, particularly for girls. It is estimated that 4.7 million young children are still not in school, end quote. Because of the corruption and fraudulence in Nigeria's leadership, the government can't help the situation. Even when there are schools to provide for children, they are not safe. Boko Haram, a terrorist group, kidnapped 270 young girls from a school and threatened to sell the girls as slaves or wives, making no clear distinction between the two. Without effective government efforts, due to corruption, the terrorist group has continued their reign of terror.
President Buhari is working to fight the corruption that took part in the decline of the economy. And since the economy is almost entirely based on oil, the Nigerians are trying to focus on something other than the oil industry as a source of income. The agricultural sector has shown some growth, and with the help of the United States, Nigeria can try to fix their economy. Along with trying to help Nigeria improve their economy, the United States is putting a lot of effort into helping Nigeria. Nigeria has problems with poverty, unemployment, healthcare, education, and many other things that go along with their currently declining economy. The United States is putting money and time to personally see the country with the large population, largest economy, and most potential for a great future in Africa succeed. The future is going to depend on free and fair elections, and the people electing honest leaders into their country. Since most of the corruption lies in the governmental system, these newly elected leaders in all levels of government will need to take drastic measures to clean up the mess before them. Nigerians need to continue to keep electing people with integrity to govern beside the president in order to change the current atmosphere and make a better future. It's the only way things will change over time.
Questions. Elise, reflecting on your colleagues' work, which one had the greatest impact on your overall understanding of the problem your group identified?
I would definitely say McKenna's research really helped me look at the bigger picture of what happened, because she had the leadership lens, and she looked a lot at the higher levels of leadership and how it stemmed across all the other sectors, while I was looking at more specifically healthcare and culture and stuff. So she helped me see the bigger picture of our issue.
Thank you. Chloe, what was the strongest counter-argument to the solution or conclusion your team identified, and why?
I think the strongest counter-argument was that the reason that a lot of the leaders were elected and a lot of the higher-up officials were elected was because they were corrupt and because everyone around them was corrupt. And so if it stayed like that, like the government it's still functioning. The government in Nigeria is still functioning. So if it stayed like that, then it could still function and still work. So they don't know exactly what's happening after they finish. That they figure out they arrest all the corrupt officials and they do all of that. So they can keep it how it is now, or they can, yeah.
Thanks. Aaliyah, describe an argument from one of your peers' individual reports that made you think differently about your team's solution or conclusion.
So Elise had the healthcare and like the hospitals and the many people who are dying. And I think that really, like that argument on how it not only affects just like the political leadership and police corruption and poverty, but that it's actually affecting the health of the citizens really definitely opened up a different side to the argument that I did not see through my research.
Thank you. And last, McKenna, having finished your project, what, if anything, do you consider to be a gap in your team's research that, if addressed, would make you feel more confident about your conclusion?
To be honest, I think we included everything that we researched. We really tied in each of our research points and our topics, and we organized it in a way that we could have all of that. I think maybe we could have researched a little bit more with the oil and maybe go deeper into that. But besides that, I think we did a pretty good job on getting all of our